Wooks and Warlocks contains sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and as such is intended for adults.
Listener discretion is advised. Content warning in the description. Ah!
What's the haps? We're talking red caps and mushroom daps. Penelope the hitchhiker offered a sweet pad to crash till the concert, but her baggage caught up with the crew and pulled a pit maneuver that left the Happy Tricksters' van smashed and high hopes dashed. The Road Warriors beat back the baddies, and now we find out what lies in wait at the quarry in the world of Wooks and Warlocks.
Hello and welcome to Wooks and Warlocks, a role-playing tour through the summer of love. In this podcast, we will be playing out a story of adventure and magic using dice and skills to determine the outcomes of our actions. My name is Trey Miller, and I will play the role of Game Master for this journey. I am joined by three of the finest folks to roll the dice. Please introduce yourselves and your characters.
My name's Tony Ryan. I'll be playing Xzzantor, the Bugfolk Ranger, accompanied by his little buddy, Fartslot.
My name is Jessie Bennett. I will be playing Granny Glinda. She is a half foxfolk rogue.
My name is John Lombardi. I will be playing Elijah Woodstone, the enlightened farm wizard.
When we last left the Happy Tricksters and our adventurers from the far past, they had gotten tangled up with a hitchhiker by the name of Penelope, a beautiful silver-haired woman, seeming to be advanced in age. Penelope requested a ride from the crew. Shortly after picking up their hitchhiker, the group was accosted by a redcap and several mushroom folk. The redcap and mushroom folk seemed to have some sort of personal vendetta against Penelope, but the party was unable to ascertain any information as the Fey folk poofed out of existence as they were defeated in a pitched battle. Penelope saw fit to spend the evening using her newly discovered magics to mend the broken van for the Happy Tricksters, who camped nearby, resting and waiting for the morning to come. When the van was fixed, the party traveled down the road to Penelope's quarry, nestled in the woods off the road, in the heart of the Malevolent Mountains. Penelope's quarry was a beautiful, spring-fed watering hole cut from the earth itself by powerful explosives. As the group pulled down the dirt road that led to this magical, resonating spot, they were taken in first by the energies of the area, and then secondly by the sight of many abandoned vehicles strewn about in a field near a wooded farmhouse and a garage filled with the tools of the mechanic's trade. Adjacent, the garage and the farmhouse, that beautiful spring-fed quarry filled nearly to the brim with crystal clear water, sparkled inviting in the sunshine. Abandoned vehicles still strewn about did nothing to mar the majesty of the view as the party parked their van and Penelope proceeded to announce that she would be going inside. Xzzantor chose to follow along with Penelope and her cat Boots. Elijah Woodstone, filled with the exuberance of the moment, ran and jumped into the waters of the quarry. We will follow Xzzantor and Penelope inside the house after we catch up with Elijah Woodstone, Granny Glenda, and King Kenzie at the edge of the quarry.
I dare say you've jumped right in.
Oh man, this water feels great, y'all. Jump on in.
It looks like it might be healing.
It's a little chilly, and I think something might be nipping at my toes. But it is real nice.
Well, I guess my old bones can give it a try.
You see, King Kenzie turns around to his companions.
Hey, you all, do you want to jump in the water?
Oh, no, I think I'm going to be looking after the vehicle. Yes, it seems right that we stay here and work on the van. We've got to make sure it gets going. This Penelope seems like a sweet folk, but you go on in though, King. It'll be refreshing. Yeah, it'll be lovely.
I'm gonna do a little shape water cantrip while I'm in there. So I'm like juggling like little orbs of water that I'm like jumping out of the.
Oh, that's lovely. Here, I'll add to the show.
And he's going to create a bit of light with some of his clerical magics, and King Kenzie is going to make rainbows shoot out of your little orbs as you spin them around, and this scene unfolds.
Granny Glenda is gonna slip into the water and go swim up to Elijah. Why, it is quite cold in here. I'm not sure how long I can take it.
Yeah. I'll let you know if your lips start to turn purple. You get out before then. But it's something about this water. It's kind of rejuvenating. I feel like it's healing.
Well, I agree. I feel about 50 years younger.
King is going to dive into the water, coming out, his mane flying through the air, water coming from the tips as he lets out a roar.
Rawr.
My son, that was not very intimidating.
Let me try again.
He's going to make another attempt to roar.
Oh, you just keep working on that.
I am a big scary lion. I do not need validation from you. I'd like to hear you make a scary noise. Oh.
We have like a King speech situation here. He seems to be failing his charisma.
Roll for intimidation, Granny Glenda.
And that's going to be a 17.
Yeah, you see King try to play it off, but he's looking at Granny Glenda out of the side of his eye.
I'm not afraid of you. You should. Well.
And he just sort of swims away and is going to go back to playing with his lights cantrip as the splashes send small rainbows reflecting across the pool of water. Elijah, as you're enjoying these refreshing, rejuvenating spring waters, cleaning the dust and grime of the road off of your furry body, you feel a twitch in the woven fabric of magic that you draw from to produce your spells. And I'm going to need you to roll an Arcana check to see what you perceive.
19.
So with your 19, as you splash and play in the water, this feeling sets in and you observe the world around you. And you notice movement in the flora of the area. You see the innocuous, innocent-looking plants of the area shimmer for a moment, taking the form of the fungal beings that you fought only half a day before. As you watch, the shimmer fades and you're not sure of what you saw, but the energy remains lingering in the air. Something in the magic of this area is misfiring.
I'm gonna carefully, like, not like I saw anything, but slowly swim towards them, towards Granny and King Kingsley, and swim up between them, and just casually be like, "Yo, something's not right.
What do you mean? Should I whisper?
I think we're being surrounded."
Well, I think perhaps the best thing for us to do at this moment would be to get out of this pool and find some shelter.
Yeah, I don't know what I saw. It was just a shimmer, but it was like a bunch of them little mushroom things that I had destroyed with my face earlier.
Roll for stealth to see if you're able to get out of the water in a way that does not alarm whatever it is you just saw.
Another 19.
25.
So, with the nonchalance of trained actors, you all manage to move to the edge of the pool, get out, and you may choose a direction to walk. If you would like to go, you're able to move towards the garage, which would be to your right as you exit the pool, or you could go forward and return to the van and speak with your friends. King Kenzie is going to attempt to nonchalantly leave the pool. And he does manage to roll a 15, so he sort of like Tom and Jerry-esque sneaking move, like you can see his paws moving, but for some reason it doesn't alert anything around, and he catwalks to the edge of the pool and is going to return to the van. Granny Glenda and Elijah.
I think we should probably go back with the others just to let them know what's happening and be with numbers.
I'm gonna shake my fur out and shake all the water out. It's all poofy for a second, and then it falls back down. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, I think we better go let them know. I mean, I don't see anything right now, but I definitely saw something.
So, as you return to inform the group of the aberrations in the atmosphere around you, we're going to flash back to Xzzantor and Penelope as they enter the house. My first question, and this may be an obvious one, but does Drake Farkslot follow Xzzantor into the house?
Yes. Yeah, he would be there. After their week of engagement and everything, they're very, very close. They generally don't. Drake is like a newborn puppy or whatever who's finally trained, is staying close to his master.
Yeah, so you all en masse enter into the foyer of her simple cottage in the woods As you enter, there's a mustiness to the air that overwhelms your senses. At first, you can smell a mixture of burnt incense, the mothballs of old clothing, dust from decades of neglect and disarray, and you smell something sickly sweet in the air. The cottage is wooden, has wood walls with tapestries hung, pictures of flowery fields, and colorful emblems you don't recognize hang from the ceiling and from the walls. The simple house has a second story, which is accessible by a ladder in this foyer room. The door in front of you is closed. Penelope turns to look at you as you enter. Oh my, I haven't had guests in so very long. And look, you brought your little one with you. I sure do love newborn anythings. They're just so filled with life.
Yeah. Penelope, was it? Do you mind if I call you P? This is a beautiful, beautiful little village you have here. His name's Drake Farkslot. Do you mind if he comes in? He's kind of newly trained, so he might,
as long
make
as
a
he's
mess.
potty trained,
He's not.
I prefer them to be, fixed if you're going to bring them around my house, but I understand.
Do you have other dragons? I mean, he's not fixed, and he's definitely not potty trained. But we
don't have dragons. No, you know that. You know that, right?
Yeah. So we're not chopping
You're so
a little fella
look
just
at
yet.
you.
You know
You're
what
so,
I mean?
Oh my.
Yeah. You're our crazy question, Penelope. Are you fixed?
What kind of question is that to ask a woman my age? I am far beyond my ability to reproduce, at least by any means that would be familiar to...
Do you love Penelope? Do you...
Oh, I love things.
This is... Well, he can come in, though, right? Drake, he's my buddy. Farkslot.
I would have it no other way. And she looks down at Drake, and I need you to roll for perception. There is a glint in Penelope's eyes.
5.
You do not notice the glint as she looks at Drake Farkslot with an indiscernible expression and then back to you with a smile that stretches from ear to ear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. It was you who got interrupted.
I was just going to comment on your eyes. They're just... such beautiful eyes.
As you say that, she attempts to bat her eyes at you, but it's like one eye closes, and then the other slowly closes while the eye that first closed opens, and that happens 2 or 3 times in a way that is distinctively not flattering.
He feels mesmerized. It seems like a bug move that he didn't know.
That does make sense.
These folk could.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Can you say one more time what she looks like? Like, describe what she looks like.
Well, so Penelope is an elderly human woman with silver hair. She is beautiful for a woman her age, but her age has begun to show, and she is not the fit young maiden she once was. She is wearing loose-fitting clothing of various colors and some baggy jeans. As she looks at you, and again, she attempts to bat her eyes, but it is much, much more like a chameleon or some sort of bug making deep, loving eye contact, which is even more appealing for Xzzantor. Says, honey, I dare say we're making such a connection. I was just thinking that I forgot why I even came in here. Perhaps I could feed you some sort of delicious treat. Would you like to come with me into the kitchen?
Yes. Yes, do you have wine, perhaps?
Wine? Well, listen to you go. You're just trying to... What?
We've had a long journey, and this is honestly, are you the only one in this village here? I notice it's...
While I love the chemistry that we're sharing in this moment, I'm going to need you to roll for persuasion to see if she is as charmed as I am currently by Xzzantor.
15.
So with your 15, she is, for all appearances, as equally enamored with you as you seem to be with her, and she says, "Why, I've been here by myself for so long I can't even remember what it's like to have guests, but we do sometimes. Well, you've seen all the vans. I try to help folks who pass by, but a few of them have been left behind, and, well, that's the only guests I really get out here."
Yeah, let's grab some food. I've got some friends outside. Let me go grab them real quick. Xzzantor's...
Oh, no, honey. Let's just you and I talk a little bit longer. I don't have enough wine.
Yeah, come
for
with
everyone.
me. He like throws his hand around her shoulder and attempts to kind of like lead her back out. How far are we
good
from
call.
the
So
front door?
as you throw your arm around her shoulder, I need you to roll a perception check with advantage. Okay, so
Advantage?
Yeah.
oh no. So we're going to in that case you don't notice anything, and we're going to need to roll a contested strength check, a grapple check, to see if you're able to wrap your arms around her. So this is athletics. I said contested strength, but I believe it's actually athletics.
She's actually shaped like a
Xzzantor's
rock.
very strong. 17.
So you managed to beat her 13 and wrestle your arm around her neck. She, overwhelmed, is dragged with you towards the door.
I'm just trying to get her to the front door and open the door and be like, "Hey, let's help Penelope here." I'm trying to like... the fact that she's the only one there and there's a bunch of empty cars, Xzzantor does get slightly suspicious. He thinks she's hot and all, and he definitely wants to get with her, but he is like slightly suspicious.
Sure, let's roll for insight to see where he's at on that.
Yeah, let's hope he's like that.
He's suspicious, but we're gonna see if he has
20.
Oh, so with your 20, Xzzantor is not just suspicious, but he is certain that something is up, and I am going to...
And he's overly protective in this moment because he has the young child with him. He has his baby dragon, so he's like slightly overprotective right now.
As you successfully grapple Penelope, a noise comes out of her that you do not recognize.
Sweet flower, should have left me where you found me.
And then she turns invisible and is going to use a legendary resistance to get out of your grapple. She only has 2 more of those left. However, she disappears in the house and the front door bolts shut.
Just me and my boy?
Just you and your boy and the cat Boots, who is looking at you.
I do an animal handling to instantly make friends with Boots if possible.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did we notice any of this? I have a 15 for like passive investigation.
This is all happening inside the house.
Oh, I thought they were at the doorway. Did they make it to the doorway?
They did not make it to the doorway.
Gotcha.
She used her legendary resistance
As he was trying to lead her?
and she turned invisible.
16.
So Boots is quite obviously perturbed and confused. There is a lot. There's a lot happening, and you can tell that Boots is looking for her owner and not seeing her owner, and so she is feeling very defensive. How do you manage to calm Boots and get her to come to you?
With like my interpretation of cat language, which is actually very good. Like Xzzantor is, he does like a bug cat purring noise and meow. And he'd like inch closer and closer and closer. He would put one arm, closer, and then, he would, with his top two arms, he would be ushering the cat to come closer, like waving towards himself, and with the bottom two arms, he would be sweeping in with an inward motion, trying to like be welcoming. And that means something to cats. Like,
you can tell that a rapport has been developed between Xzzantor and Boots, and Boots is going to look towards Drake Farkslot and just sort of see the way that Drake is behaving. And Boots, with your 15 in animal handling, you can tell Boots is as confused as you are. Like, Boots' Penelope just disappeared and something awful took its place. And you, it's going to just start mimicking Drake's behavior. And so it's mirroring Drake. So if Drake is like pushed up against your right leg, you now have Boots pushed up against your left leg. And so on and so forth. It's going to try to mimic whatever is happening with Drake.
We would all stay in that same room and I imagine look for any kind of doors and any doors that we do find or windows we would try to break.
So you're able to, so the house, as you can tell, we could just say that it's this bottom floor has a front room with an open door leading deeper into the house. It has a ladder leading upstairs from this front room. There is a room to the right when you get to the back of the house. If you're walking forward from the door, you could turn right, and there is another door that leads to a room you have not been in or seen. And you have not checked the door to see if it is locked.
Can I use Drake's acid? I'm trying to contact the folks outside any way possible is what's in Xzzantor's mind. So he's like thinking use Drake's acid to melt the door, like bang on the walls. He's thinking like try to get sound outside the house or contact the party in any way.
So you you can try any of those things. And see what happens.
We didn't come up with like an emergency noise to make or scream as a group to like attract each other.
And it's in theory we don't have like the little telecommunication method that parties have in D&D sometimes, where they can all like speak to each other in their mind.
You do not have that.
Okay,
no.
That would be great right now.
I don't have that spell.
And I'm assuming, Xzzantor's assuming that this is magically sealed. He assumes this is some witch at this point, and this is all magically
Well, you don't
sealed.
have to assume. You can try to find out. You're welcome to pick. But if you'd like to assume that, you can. Anyone...
maybe like an athletics check to bang on the wall or something?
Sure. If you'd like to, you could roll a perception check to see what you see in these two rooms. And there are some things that may be of assistance to Xzzantor. If you'd like to do an athletics check to bang on the door, go ahead and do that.
That would be his first thought, I think.
Go ahead.
15 or 16, sorry.
So, as you beat on the door, I'm going to need Granny Glenda and Elijah Woodstone to roll a perception check. If you get under a 17, we'll say that it works.
21.
Uh-oh.
10.
So, Granny Glenda is oblivious to the sounds coming from the door, but for a half a moment, Elijah hears the beginning of a bang on the door. Xzzantor, you hear, "Nah-ah-ah," and then all of a sudden, you are unable to hear anything at all around you. If Xzzantor speaks, it comes out as silence. The movement of Drake Farkslot and Boots makes no sound.
Xzzantor's freaking out.
Roll perception with disadvantage because you're freaking out to see what is in this room that might be able to help you.
3.
With your 3, you notice in the corner of the room, sitting on the ground, a doll. This doll is a typical child's play toy, similar to one that might have been from your time, but it is made from this modern plastic substance that you've grown to learn about, and the arms and legs have been rearranged into the wrong positions, and the head is turned backwards with a frowny face drawn on the back of the doll's head.
I mean, legit, Xzzantor would not get anywhere near that thing. He would look around for windows again. There's no windows or anything.
There are no windows in the house. There is a door in the back of the house that is adjacent to the creepy doll, and there is a ladder leading upstairs.
Bro, is it just like everything's kind of empty, but the doll is just like the only thing there? Is that what we're talking about?
I think a more accurate way to describe it would be there's lots of stuff around that you could investigate, but because you're so unnerved by this situation, the only thing that you can really focus on right now is that creepy doll, and so you're like missing the forest for the trees, so to speak.
Yeah, Xzzantor looks around, sees all this stuff, and his eye just gets fixated on this creepy ass doll because he's like does not like dolls. He had bad experiences on the pirate ships. One of the pirates brought a doll. It was stupid. He hated it. He hates this doll, and so it's like fixating on his mind. And he's just like, he looks down at Boots, the little cat that he just met, and he's like, Boots, go get it. And he tells the cat to go get it.
Roll an animal handling.
15.
With your 15, Boots meow, and Boots takes off to the corner of the room, sniffs lightly at the air in front of the doll, and then swats once with her paw, and poof, the minor illusion disappears.
Xzzantor hates witches and like really hates this whole situation. He's like brimming with anger like inside his head, but he doesn't know what to do, and he like, I would imagine he'd like go run into the wall very hard, like the door. He'd go try to run into the door again, I would imagine.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. We can roll a strength check, and if you manage a critical success, then it will succeed.
Oh, this was athletics, right?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh no, is there strength?
It's strength. It doesn't. At this point, it's just roll a d20, and if you get a 20, then it'll work.
Oh, it does not work.
Yeah, so you are for all intents and purposes trapped, but you can still try. There's another door you can try, and there's a ladder you can try. We're gonna give Elijah a chance to react to the fact that he did hear
Like one thud, right?
Well, you heard like half a thud because it was silenced immediately.
Yeah.
So it was a very suspicious sound that cut off unnaturally.
So yeah, did y'all hear that? It sounded like, I don't know, like maybe somebody like dropped something heavy. It was just like a quick, like half a thud.
Well, where did it come from?
Definitely from the house.
Well, maybe we should try to get in there.
Why don't you all go check on him? It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, Granny Glinda goes and attempts to
Let's go together.
open the door.
So you approach the door and find it to be locked.
I pull out some lock picks.
All right, go ahead and attempt to pick the lock.
Nobody watched this. I mean, I've moved on to better days since these.
I'm gonna turn around and kind of block her, like so that way like nobody's watching her. Just block her with my elk body.
13.
13 is not an. You attempt to pick the lock, but it seems that this lock is advanced in ways beyond your skill set.
Can I try?
You're certainly welcome to try. Do you? You might need to borrow Granny Glinda's thieves' tools.
Oh, I was just gonna like straight 300 kick the door.
All right, go ahead and try.
With my hoof. Strength. Oh, I think just a straight strength.
Yes.
That's gonna be 16.
With your 16, you feel the door rattle, but you do not manage to kick it in. You also notice, as Xzzantor noticed, that the sound you would expect the door to make is not there.
Oh. Y'all, that was weird. My super kick made no noise on that door.
That was very strange.
That's some magic shit going on.
Yeah,
there.
some odd trickery happening.
Let me try. Maybe I can try some magic shit on it. What we got here? Is there any way that I could... Man, I don't know. It's more like dirt and stone. Is the house made of stone?
It's wood.
The house
Like
is made
wood?
of wood. It is a wooden house.
Can I mold earth any? Would that help at all? I don't know.
You would, if you'd like to dig into the house, that's an interesting solution. And yes, there is earth under the house that could be molded, and you could go in like old Western bank robber style.
Yeah, like tunnel in?
That's not
Like a dog under a fence?
I like to think that is why mold earth exists,
Yeah.
but we have to let it happen for that to be why. If you'd like to use that solution, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I'm gonna start to dig a trench underneath the door.
Great. How long does mold earth take to move? I think it's like 5-foot cube.
Yeah, let's see. That doesn't really say. No, it just says
might be
it's instantaneous.
Okay, great. So every
Yeah.
6 seconds, you're
Okay.
able to move 5 cubic feet of dirt. So it relatively quickly, you're able to tunnel into this house. It takes you about 30 seconds to a minute to move all of this earth in a fashion that allows you and Granny Glinda to enter into the house. Which would you be tunneling into the foyer or the closest, or would you attempt to tunnel into the back left or right rooms?
I think where we like heard the bang, or like I guess whatever the front entrance.
Right.
would
So
be,
you
I think,
you tunnel into the front room then, and you reach the foundation of the house where the wood floors are, and your passage is blocked by the wooden baseboards. Give me an Arcana check, Elijah Woodstone.
24.
With your 24 Arcana, you would recognize that whatever magical powers were affecting the door, you don't see that shimmer in the magical energies of the air that was on the door, and this is just wood, and simple force would break these wood panels.
Would Xzzantor hear any of this?
There is silence cast on the area, so you can't hear anything. Is Xzzantor doing anything while this is happening?
He's pacing around, so like he would be pacing around the floor. I'm envisioning Elijah coming up through the floor with his horns, and I don't want Xzzantor to be standing there. So that's what I'm kind of thinking of right now. Like, he's responsible for a cat, a mini dragon, and himself. The cat is over there messing with the doll, right? The mini dragon's probably right by me. I need to. He doesn't want to go up the ladder, so he would still be in that room, I imagine.
All right.
Pacing.
The mini doll is gone now. But
So we're stuck between like the 5-foot cube of earth we've dug out, as well as like floorboards underneath the house.
You just got to get through the floorboards.
Yeah.
You're under the floorboards.
I guess I'm headbutting. Yeah, I'm just gonna start
you want.
headbutting, try to break
Yeah.
that.
So give me let's make an attack against these floorboards.
All right.
I was gonna try to assist, but if he's silenced, he can't. He don't.
Xzzantor does not perceive this.
Dirty 20.
With your dirty 20, you burst through the floor and find yourself in an empty room.
I'll do an acrobatics check just to make sure he didn't like come up on me or my dragon. I got a 16, so he would, respond.
Nothing has changed in the room that Xzzantor is in.
Okay.
Where are we?
There's nobody in here. My head.
So Granny Glenda and Elijah are in the same room. Xzzantor is not in that room.
Do you see anything, Granny?
I don't see our friend, but maybe we could look around in this room for clues.
Yeah, you climb up ahead. Go ahead. Through this nice hole I just made.
I'm gonna roll for perception.
I imagine his head just broke through and he's just like, a head popped up. He's looking around and then he lays back down out of the way to allow Granny to come up.
I got a natural one on my perception.
With your natural one, all that you notice is a terrifying doll that, as you look at it, at first seems to be a grotesque, piecemealed thing, just like what we described Xzzantor seeing. But just as quickly as your assassin's eyes fixate on this terrifying doll, its form changes into one you recognize. One you recognize dearly. An infant form of your grandson, Parker, crawls at you on hands and knees, its head spinning.
How dare you use my grandson to trick me, you foul bitch. And Granny's gonna throw her dagger at the fucking...
Dude, I don't see any. I just see like Granny staring off, like having an old person moment. It's like, Granny, what do you see? Granny. She's just staring off like frozen.
So roll for attack, please.
$17.
As the knife flies through the air and your silent words croak into the ether, the noiseless dagger flips end over end until it hits the doll, and you hear a thud as it passes through its illusory form, and only the final words of your curse reach the air. As the illusion fades around you and the silence lifts, Xzzantor, you see your friends reappear in the room in front of you.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Thank the goddesses and the gods. Good to see you guys.
Where have you been and what did you get yourself into? I told you not to go messing around with that old woman, Sonny, and what did you do?
You just saw her. You
What
saw
the
her.
hell?
You
had to follow that thorax.
Where were you?
Oh, that thorax. Yeah, no, she's a dirty witch bitch. Glad y'all came in.
The old lady?
Yes,
What?
beware. I think we might be locked in here forever.
Where'd she
I'm not
go?
sure. Okay, so Xzzantor now sees the hole in the floor. All the stuff becomes apparent, like all the destruction.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So he's like, yep, let's go there. We need to get out of here now.
Did she go in another
now.
room? Where did she go?
Have not found her. Saw the creepy doll. Did you guys see the creepy little doll thing?
I saw something, and as she says that, she's gonna go grab her dagger.
I saw Granny have a moment. We'll talk about it later.
Fucking Granny's fucking scary, bro. Like,
She had an elderly moment. I
Yep.
don't want to talk about it.
Granny can hear them, and she's just like kind
She's
of
great.
shaking her head and side-eyeing Elijah.
So do we we don't know that she turned invisible?
You do not know that, no.
She just sort of went off somewhere else.
Yeah.
Xzzantor wouldn't even bother to tell you. I mean, he'd wait till we got outside.
Gotcha.
So, are you guys going to explore the house, or are you going
I'm
to...
imploring
If
them
he's
to get
that
out of
insistent about
Yeah.
leaving, I think we'll follow him.
So,
we'd
the
get
doors
out.
are still locked, but you're welcome to attempt to leave via the tunnel that you've made.
You guys, we really need to get out of here. Like, we can totally figure this out. Let's get the team. Let's get the crew. Let's
Get
get
to
the
hole,
bus.
down to the hole.
Yep. I'm out of here. He would if y'all were not in the hole, he would be in the hole and getting out. Along with, he would have Drake, right beside him.
I'll go last. Let you two.
Okay, Granny's getting down in there.
I'm helping Granny down. Come on, easy now.
All right,
So, in theory, would just pop up right outside the front door. Is that what?
Are you guys? As you move through, Xzzantor first makes it through the hole to the outside of Penelope's dwelling, followed by, or accompanied by Drake, Farkslot, and Boots, followed by Granny Glenda. Granny Glenda crawls from the hole as Elijah attempts to enter. A force grabs your antlers and pulls.
Oh no! Y'all grab my feet!
We're going to have to do a grapple check to see if you can get away.
Somebody grab my feet!
Yeah, we would definitely try to.
I'm just kicking little hooves. You just see little hooves kicking out the side of the hole, and my antlers are stuck. He's got my head.
So,
Strength.
athletics.
Athletics. Oh, man.
And actually, I guess it's called strength and athletics. It's got two different things here. God, I got a 7 for any assistance.
Oh, nice. 22.
You narrowly manage to wiggle away from the firm grip of whatever this entity is that's occupying this cabin. As you pull away, one point of your antlers snaps.
Oh, my God. I'm imperfect.
Thanks for the treat, little flower. I'm so grateful.
Oh, she sounds so scary. Get me out of this hole. She sounds so scary.
Yeah, Xzzantor, it's aiding getting him out of the hole.
Yeah, you guys pull Elijah Woodstone from the ground. As you leave the area of the building, are you running back to the van?
Just right back to everybody, and I would,
Yeah.
Xzzantor would tell them all the stuff about the witch and how it was Penelope, and she changed and disappeared. That's when he would relay that previous information.
Yeah, so as you're talking with the crew, Penny Lane says, "Yeah, that makes sense. This repair job she did was nothing but a sham. Looks like she did more damage than good. We're gonna have to replace quite a bit. Luckily, there's all these parts around here, but so what are we going to do about her?
Let's burn the house. Let's burn the house. This is a witch. She will kill us. We probably won't even get out of here. This whole land's probably enchanted now that I think about it.
As you suggest to burn the house, I'm gonna need let's let everybody roll a perception check to see how this pans out.
21. Which I don't think Xzzantor's super interested in he's just kind of pissed. He's he just lost the way he thought was going to be a good relationship. It turned out real bad. He's venting a little bit right now.
Perception. We're all rolling.
I got an 18.
18.
Yeah,
I
so
got an 18 as well.
Nice.
So you guys with your 21 is what Xzzantor got, and with your 18s, you all sort of simultaneously pick up that you are not alone. You have become surrounded by these mushroom folk, and similar to the experience that you had when you were doing battle with them, the spores resonate in the area. And I'm going to need, there are a total of 6 of these mushroom folks surrounding you. So I'm going to need you to each roll a saving throw to see if you are able to resist their stunning, pacifying spores.
What's the save? Con?
I believe it's a Constitution save, yes.
20.
12.
14.
So, Granny Glenda, you feel your form go rigid, your eyes spread wide, and your back straighten as these stunning spores seize your muscles. Xzzantor and Elijah will feel the same thing. And as these stunning spores envelop the party, the rapport spores connect your minds. You once again feel a connection to one another. You can think each other's thoughts, feel one another's emotions, along with those of the surrounding mushroom folk, who seem to be interrogating your very souls. You realize that you are receiving images of mushrooms growing from your dead bodies. You are being threatened by these mushroom people. But they then reveal to you images of the beautiful silver-haired woman Penelope tending to the mushroom folk and their young. And they reveal Penelope changing forms into something nearly unrecognizable but glorious. A winged beast, like an aged Farkslot. Penelope shimmered blue and purple and pink in the sun, and then returned to her silver-haired elderly form. You receive these visions in a finale where a cruel, fanged, green-skinned, clawed-handed hag stepped through the portal of time to claim this Fey crossroads for her own. The mushroom folk are asking you, which Penelope do you serve?
Xzzantor, you gotta sell it, buddy. I mean, I don't want to get eaten by a bunch of mushrooms right now.
Xzzantor doesn't care about any of these images. He thinks they're all fake. He's very just. He's trying to fight off all these images the best he can, and he's ready to burn stuff in this very moment. He's like trying to start his tinderbox, I imagine, but he's, flooded with this, and he's definitely gonna serve the freaking acid dragon version of Penelope. Like that's his grown-up Xzzantor. If he was to see her change into that, like a big acid dragon, like a grown-up version.
I will clarify, not an acid dragon, but
okay.
But like something draconic certainly, but like more shimmering rainbows and things like that.
He's a dummy. He would like fall back in love with her. He would prefer that version because he would be like, this is like, oh, okay. He would think that meant something, but he's just dumb. So he would tell if the mushroom people are like asking us to answer this question, like which version do we prefer of Penelope?
Yeah,
that one.
So you're giving images of Farkslot grown. You're comparing this Penelope of their visions to your own child, and they recognize the empathy that you feel for this this motherly character in their world, this caretaker of the quarry who has been supplanted by a hag.
So it'll be like, me, friend.
And they warm feelings envelop you as sweet-smelling spores waft from their bodies. They turn to, and as far as you can tell, they don't have eyes, they don't have mouths, but in an attempt to ease communication with you, they turn their bodies towards Elijah, the Happy Tricksters, and Granny Glenda.
Well, I guess I would go with the dragon as well. I mean, whatever Xzzantor said, if I had to pick.
As they pursue your very soul, they rip apart knowledge that Granny Glenda herself has lost. You see a shudder come to these formless beings, and they are not convinced of your benevolent intentions. How do you convince them that you are capable of love and empathy?
Granny Glenda is going to show him some memories of her and her grandson, Parker, spending quality time together in their
Describe
town.
those visions for the mushroom folk.
Yeah, so it's just going to be flashes of pictures of, like, him being a kid and then, like, walking out through the forest and gathering dinner supplies to cook dinner back at the house for the whole town, and then being really helpful and, you know, just being there to help out with the town and repairing houses and doing whatever they can do.
So the mushroom folk seem to nod as they too understand family and compare their own relationship with Penelope to that of a matriarch. Elijah Woodstone, the mushroom folk look at you, and there is a sorrow to their countenance as they ponder your memories. They see all that you've lost and all that you hope to gain, and they need no convincing. But just the same, you are welcome to show them an image that would declare you a good individual capable of empathy.
Eli is terrified. He doesn't understand what he just saw. This is like the nastiest, creepiest shit he's ever seen before, and not what you normally find on a farm. And the only memory that comes out, it's like him up to like his chin in water, and then he's just sitting there and he's like thinking real hard, and then just like some fart bubbles come up next to him.
So the mushroom folk seem to nod. They are confused by your expression. They do not but they do know what it's like to off gas, and so they nod and understand and give some spores in return that smell good, and they appreciate your memory of you sharing your own sweet smelling spore gases with the people around you.
I'm just so scared right now.
They one of them reaches out to comfort you in a very human-like way, and the mushroom folk are going to begin to back away. You sense that they want you to save their friend, Penelope, and it would seem that Penelope is trapped in the house that you just escaped. You see the mushroom folk point towards the garage where the mechanics tools lie.
Like, are we not able to like verbally communicate with them? They just communicate like telepathically like this?
Yeah, the mushroom folks don't they have very limited vocabularies, and they express more via like ideas and feelings.
I'm gonna put up my two hands up in like a questioning format, and I'm gonna raise one up, and I'm gonna picture like the silver-haired version. And I'm gonna be like, huh? and like tilt my head, and then I'm gonna raise the other hand up and picture like the creepy dragon hag version.
So those are two different things: the dragon version and the hag version.
Oh, the hag is just the old lady.
Oh,
there's three.
No, there's two. You have not seen the hag. Only Xzzantor has caught a quick glimpse of Penelope in her hag form. Hags take on the images of other female humanoids.
Gotcha.
So she is the mushroom folks have revealed to you that Penelope's image was taken by the hag, and she is manipulating this area where the quarry is a home for these fey creatures, maintained by the benevolent draconic Penelope, and she has been displaced by the hag.
So
and
the two is like draconic one or hag.
Yeah, and it seems like all of this centers around the events about 2 weeks ago when you guys were plopped through that portal in time. It seems like that's when this area was plopped into this world, and the mushroom folk are communicating. It's almost like two worlds got plopped on top of one another, one being the hag's lair, the other being this fey nexus.
Gotcha.
And this is all being in our heads, like Xzzantor and Granny, all of us are getting this like kind of.
You're all sharing each other's thoughts, and
my point for that was just to try to like see which one they prefer.
Sure. So as you ask that, an image once more of this glorious draconic being with fairy wings and purple and silver and blue scales, roaring into the light and then turning back into the silver-haired Penelope, the spitting image of the woman you picked up hitchhiking.
And they're giving us the thought that like that creature is trapped inside the house.
That's what they're saying, is that essentially they're responding to Xantor's desire to burn the house down. They are trying to stop you from burning the house down because you'll kill their beloved Penelope.
Okay. I think we
got to get back in there.
Granny Glinda's gonna go to the garage.
Yeah, so the mushroom folks sort of they work almost in unison, and you see that the 6 gathered mushroom folk are pointing towards the garage and wiggling and sort of in a dancing formation.
Can I invite one to like get on my shoulder, like a little? Is there any small mushroom people
They're
around?
pretty big. They would be medium sized. It would be like having a small child on your shoulder, but you're more than welcome to invite a mushroom folk onto your shoulder.
I'm gonna give one a dab and be like, "Sorry, I murdered your friend."
Is the little kitty cat Boot still with me?
Boots is still with you,
All
as
right.
well as the other thing, and you now have you invited a mushroom folk onto your shoulder?
Yes.
Okie dokie. So you're covered in things. Granny Glinda, you walk towards the garage, and it has an open bay door. There is inside the garage on some sort of lift device with a lever, a van very similar to the one that you've been traveling in, but this van has tires on it that appear to it's hard to describe to your perspective because of your time warp, so I'm just going to describe it to our perspective. These are heavy tread off-road tires. So you see these tires that look like monsters compared to the tires you're used to, and you see that they are sized appropriately to fit onto the van, to your van, and that the pieces have already been disassembled. As you're looking through past this is the main thing that's going to take your sight. The room is filled to the brim with tools, instructional books, and you see on a table a single scroll.
Granny Glinda's gonna grab the scroll for Elijah.
Alrighty. Are you going to leave the area and go report on your findings, or are you going to look around this area anymore?
I think I'll probably right now be concerned about the time, so I'll leave the area and report the tires to the...
Yeah, roll for perception just one more time as you're leaving the garage.
That's 14.
As you're leaving, you take note of a dartboard with what would appear to be some pretty well-made darts stuck in it. You return to the group at the van.
I'm going to grab the darts first.
Oh, you're grabbing the darts first? Okay.
And then I'll go back to the van and, well, guys, it looks like there's some mighty fine, whatever you call those big black things on this big metal contraption here, you know, whatever the
tires.
Oh, yeah. Tires. There's some really big ones.
They've got the big body off-road tread. I've always wanted to fit the old girl out with one of those. We might need to upgrade the suspension, though. I've got to go look at what's going on. And you see John Paul, overjoyed, run towards the garage to investigate what you've discovered.
Xzzantor would try to be like, hey, John Paul, what's up, man? You going back in there? And he'd like try to follow him in or whatever.
Yes, I was going to go look at what Granny Glenda found. It sounds very cool. I'm not sure that I'll be much help in this fight you've got coming up, but I do love the van, so I was going to start taking a look at it. There's quite a few parts around here, you know.
Yeah, I got your back, bro. Pick whatever. He would just like stand guard over JP. He thinks it's still a little like ominous, and it's like just making sure everything's cool, you know.
So yeah, so as you guys walk over there together, you guys are hanging out in the garage. Do you give the scroll to Elijah?
Yes.
Elijah, let's roll a DC 12 Arcana check to see if you're able to decipher this scroll.
Man, more reading.
Maybe I could read it for you.
It would be a 14.
So with your 14, you identify this scroll as a scroll of knock. Knock is a spell that can, I believe it's a level 2 spell that can unlock any magical lock.
We could maybe use that on the door.
Give me a second to just copy this thing here down into the old moleskin.
Sounds good.
So we're definitely going to do some investigating on this old cottage here, right? We know this hag could just pop up out of anywhere at any time.
Are you still in the garage, Xzzantor?
Well, he's hearing the conversation. Or,
Okay.
Yeah, he's like half in the garage, half outside. But if he hears his party start talking, he'll like listen in.
Yeah, sure. So you're leaving John Paul in the garage then?
Try not to take his eye off of him.
It's about 40, 50 feet between the garage and the conversation. So you will either be able to watch. You can like be half watching John Paul, but you.
I'm just gonna yell to him. I'm gonna say, Xzzantor, well, I think we found a way in, man. Get over here.
Yeah, he would leave John Paul and go back to his party.
Yeah, well, it's fine. I've been here by myself for a while. Here, I'll call the folks over. Hey, Kenzie, come on, Penny, I could use your help. We're gonna change out. Look at all this stuff we found. And so the group heads to the garage as you all move to investigate the house.
And Xzzantor would relay that to the group. Be like, hey, we're gonna go. Do some recon on the house. While y'all are fixing the car or whatever.
So the party approaches the house, and it is still ominously silent. Not the magical silence that you experienced before, but something heavy. Something not natural, but not supernatural. It is the silence of a trap waiting to spring.
Roll for perception.
If you'd like to roll for perception, you may.
Can I roll investigation?
And Xandor's gonna do an Arcana.
Oh God, got like a 5.
Uh-oh.
8 on my Arcana check.
So Xzzantor and Granny Glenda do their best to try to get a lead on the house, some sort of indication of what they're going to have to expect when they get in there. But there is no direct information that is to be gleaned.
Xzzantor tells him about the ladder and like the other rooms and stuff that he saw when he was in there, and suggests like maybe trying the ladder.
Y'all want to check the perimeter, walk the perimeter, see if there's another door
before we go in? Okay, definitely.
Yeah, so if you guys walk the perimeter, you find that there's no other door. There is still the hole that you dug, but you know where that leads.
Let's just use this front door and stick together as a team.
So are you going to cast the knock spell on the door?
Do we have one scroll, or is this
I think it's
something
one use, one charge?
Did you write it down into your book?
Yeah. So I have it now?
So the scroll is gone, but you'll need to use a spell slot.
That's
Okay,
definitely
nice.
the way we want to do that.
What level is that spell?
I believe it's level 2.
Well, dang. All right. I will use a second level spell slot and cast a knock on the magical door, but we need to stand back just in case.
Yes, sir.
Just in case it explodes or something.
Is it? Oh man, you're so freaking cool, Elijah. Like Xzzantor is enamored by this.
So as you cast the spell, it is as though a giant's fist thuds on the door. A heavy knock reverberates across the granite-cut quarry, and the door swings open on its hinges. A wind blows out from the inside of the now pitch-black house. It is as though no light penetrates from the outside.
Creepy, bro.
Something tells me a torch won't even light up this room.
I don't like this at all.
Do you enter the house?
Yeah.
We're going inside.
What, Granny first? Granny lead?
Yeah, Granny's taking the lead on this one.
me fucking Elijah.
I'm going to kind of stand over her, though. Like, I can protect her a bit with my horns, because she's smaller than me.
As you enter, the door slams shut and latch is closed once more.
Screw it. Xantor's going to start trying to go up the ladder just to peek. He doesn't want to actually step foot on
So
whatever
yeah,
floor.
you feel around the dark room, and go ahead and let's call it a perception check to see if you're able to remember and find where that ladder is.
13.
So with your 13, you fumble around the room, sort of brutishly for a few moments before knocking your knee into the ladder, and you're able to climb up. When you get near the top of the ladder, you hear a sound like humming or whistling, and it's coming from a closed room around the corner at the end of this hallway-like room.
You know how in video games they like slide down the ladder sometimes if you're trying to go down fast? Like,
Yeah.
he totally wants to do that. So if there's an athletics check or something.
Yeah, roll
that's
for
what
athletics to see if it works, and if you roll low, you're going to get splinters.
Oh, 11.
You get some splinters,
Yeah, the
and you'll
one
take 1d4 of damage as you slide down on the old wooden ladder.
But he's out of there, right? So he gets down and like totally relays this creepy whistling. And he's like, bros, there is like... Oh, God, I hate this place. There's some whistling. It's creepy as hell up the ladder. Can you hear me? And he's, like, reaching out for him because it's still kind of a dark room. I imagine he's trying to, like, grab
Yeah, can we see
either
each other?
Glinda.
Like,
You cannot see each other, but you can hear one another.
Yeah, and you can hear Xantor's loud ass because he is yelling and, like, reaching
Yeah.
for y'all with all
And I mean,
four
the
arms.
room's not that big. It's probably a 15 foot by 15 foot room. So you guys are sort of on top of one another because there's not a lot of room to stand. The room is filled with stuff.
Granny Glinda has dark vision. So
Um,
can she see anything?
you are able to see a little bit further than everyone else, but this is a magical darkness.
Okay.
So we'll say that you have 10 foot of vision, where everyone else only has 5 feet of vision.
Okay.
Can I use my thaumaturgy to, like, cause some flames to flicker? Even for just, like, a minute. It only lasts for a minute.
Sure. Yeah. Where there's no flames inside the house.
Okay, so I have to... I do have a tinderbox.
Yeah.
Can I make one of my,
You strike the match, and no light is produced by the flame, although you can hear the sound of the flame in the air.
This is creepy, guys. This is, I'm trying to use magic. I'm trying to get something to light. I still can't see for shit. Can anybody see in here? Has anybody got elven dark vision? I've heard the elves have this stuff.
I can see a little bit, but I feel like this is a different kind of magic.
Let's all get in like a line. I'll hold on to Granny. You hold on to me, and we'll walk in a conga line.
I'm not doing that.
As you grab your hand. As you attempt to organize the group, Elijah Woodson, I need you to make a DC 14. I think that it is charisma saving throw.
Fail.
Oh, you're the smart one, are you?
Ah! And you're going to take a D4 damage as the hag's vicious mockery echoes from somewhere in this house indiscernibly.
Oh, max damage. Maximum damage.
Yeah, so you're gonna take 4 damage, and you're gonna have disadvantage on your next skill check. You hear a thudding coming from the back room on the bottom floor, as though a treasure chest is wobbling on a wooden floor. The thud increases in intensity and frequency until it stops as quickly as it began.
Go towards the sound.
Is Elijah walking towards it?
Yeah, Granny Glinda's going towards it.
Xzzantor's solid. If you are moving, he's like cautiously coming behind you, but he does not want to go in.
You proceed to the door in the back?
Yeah.
It is locked.
Okay,
Like
I'm gonna try to lockpick it first. Let me handle this, dearies. I think I could still do this in the dark. It's gonna be a 10.
10 was the number. It is not a difficult lock, and it opens. And as it opens, I'm going to need you all to make a Constitution saving throw. You can make this with advantage, Xzzantor, because of your experience with your farty acid dragon. A horrid smell, the sickly sweet aroma twisted into a putrid and pungent distortion of itself, floods over the party as they open this room. It is as though a corpse has been hidden in this space and allowed to grow flowers from the decay.
I imagine Xzzantor with his 23 probably loves this stuff.
All right.
I got an 18, so it's like kind of smells like the farm. It kind of smells like death and flowers. It's like bad potpourri.
Granny Glinda got a 21, so she's thinking back on old good memories.
Of murder.
We're also
smells like a
I
freshly
didn't say
hidden
that.
corpse.
The smell does not faze the group as you attempt to, as you enter the room, you see what was once a beautiful and ornate hosting room with a table set for dinner. But the table and the dinner are covered with fungal growth. You see the rich, colorful paintings that adorn the wall defaced and twisted, grotesque.
Now, I'm not the best reader, but if I can mold earth, do you think I could unmold this stuff? Or is that like, nope?
Like for water damage and such.
Like bring it back?
Yes.
This stuff's nasty. It looks like it was a good meal, but it looks like it's been sitting here for about 300 years or so.
I wouldn't test it, man.
Somebody lick it.
Does my little mushroom buddy react in any kind of way?
The mushroom looks down, and I suppose it did not occur to me that you still have a mushroom on your shoulder. The rapport spores of a mushroom person spread in a 30-foot radius, so you all can hear one another's thoughts still. You are all connected by the aura of this mushroom person, and in that same interconnectedness of the spores, you sense that the mushroom folk on your shoulder does not recognize this fungus as something related to the natural or fey fungus that he is.
And not just faintly seeing the table, but this room we can like see in. It's not like completely dark like the other room.
You're faintly seeing the table. It's not illuminated, but it's not magically dark.
Okay.
The magical darkness was exclusive to the hallway room
Cool.
and to the upstairs hallway room.
Right,
In this room, you see behind the table, tucked in a corner, underneath discarded tapestries, something is shaking, rattling, like a chest.
Granny Glinda might consider tossing a dart at it, but do you guys think I should maybe give that thing a poke or what?
Is there a way, like, you said it's covered? Can we uncover it?
Got a sheet on it or
Yeah,
something,
so
right?
we just pull the sheet off of it carefully?
The box the thing over there that's moving in this house of the witch.
It could
we
be
want
like
to
an
go poke
animal
it. Is
locked
that
in
what
a
we're doing?
cage. It could be like an animal locked in a cage that she's gonna like use in bad things or
We
something.
could save
We might
it.
need help.
Boots.
Boots looks at Xzzantor like he agrees with Elijah Woodstone.
Check it out,
Pull
Boots.
the sheet off, but not like touch the thing.
Hurry,
Like,
hurry.
grab the very corner. Grab, like the little corner of the sheet.
Okay,
and
roll
pull
for
it off.
sleight of hand.
You don't have to, Elijah. We can send the cat.
And I have disadvantage on this. I have
Boots
disadvantage
is
on this
upset with you for
because
that.
of
Imagine.
the damage I took.
You have disadvantage, yes, because of the vicious mockery.
He's like, my name is Boots, damn it.
The second one was better. And it was a what check?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Oh man. All right. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. 15.
You managed to pull the sheet off of the rattling, shaking chest. It is a chest, and it is rattling and shaking. Its metallic corners banging into the ground, and it appears as though something is trying to get out of this chest. There is a large lock on the chest.
Granny Glinda's gonna try to unlock it.
Granny, sure
As
you
you
want to open
attempt
this?
to lock it, I need you to make a DC 14 charisma saving throw.
Glutani
Can
be
we talk-
good.
can we
Is it?
talk about this?
Has it got teeth? Jesus Christ! What are we doing here, guys? Oh, he doesn't know who Jesus Christ is. But
There's actually a Jesus Christ in Lund in the past. He's a very famous bugfolk pirate who would actually probably...
Jesus Christo.
21.
They named a sandwich.
So you rolled a 21 to unlock the chest. Or was that your saving throw?
That was my saving.
Yeah, so you hear in your head the words of the witch, or of the hag.
You're never gonna get that open. Why do you even try?
But the vicious mockery has no effect.
Haha, nice try, but I've been bullied before. You're gonna have to do better than that.
You crack the lock. It falls to the ground, and the chest stops shaking.
Hold my action. Holding my action.
The chest flies open, and you hear Boots begin to purr.
Well, maybe it's a good
As a
thing.
humanoid woman stands to her full height inside the chest. Her silver hair flowing down to her waist. Her eyes sparkling purple and silver and blue. Before you stands none other than Penelope. And we'll pick up there next time on the next thrilling installment of Wooks and Warlocks. What did Elijah do?
We'll have to pick up with it, like starting that. But I was like, all right, he's about to do something. I was like, I'll give it a 50%. If it's low, it happens. If it's above, he holds back. So like, out of a reaction, he just throws a sleeping dart into her neck.
Perfect. So we'll pick up there next time on the next thrilling installment of Wooks and Warlocks.
Oh man.
Round and around in the tunnel when it's dark we go, searching through the rubble for what wants to spark like a shout in the night. And the sight of the past, it can fill us with fear or might, though we know the wheel comes back after time. Oh, sweet time. And the soul will rise from the ashes. We will climb as we shout into the night. Let no man use my battle cry.
Wooks and Warlocks features Anthony Ryan as Xzzantor, the Bugfolk Ranger, Jesse Bennett as Granny Glenda, half Foxfolk Rogue, John Lombardi as Elijah Woodstone, the Elk Folk Wizard, and Trey Miller as Dungeon Master. Intro and outro feature the song Flight of the Phoenix by Tire Fire. Recording and editing are completed in-house by the Wooks and Warlocks team, recording consultation provided by Adam Horwitz. You can find us online at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord under the name Wooks and Warlocks. Links can be found in the description. If you would like to sponsor an episode of Wooks and Warlocks, please contact us at wooksandwarlocks@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.
Dark clouds brewing a storm deep in the sky. Words spoken in anger, vibrant like a neon sign in the mind's eye, multiplied by time and time again. It's those we love that we lose when we struggle with what's inside, just hoping for hope, something to ward off the fright. And the soul will rise from the ashes. We will climb as we shout into the night.